We are pleased to have you here in this Bellwether Finalist Preparatory Webinar. We're very pleased to be at this moment in time. I will tell you, we've been working very hard to ensure that we have a stellar presentation come 2021 for our Community College Futures Assembly. And it could not happen without every single person on this call and those that are not on the call and could not make it today, in terms of you providing a submission that I think shows the caliber of our community colleges and shows the resiliency and the tenacity, particularly during this challenging time that we have. So I salute you on behalf of Bellwether College Consortium, on behalf of our staff. We thank you. My name is Rose Martinez. I serve as the director for the Bellwether College Consortium, and you are here for the Bellwether Finalists Preparatory Webinar. Handling the slides is my co-partner in crime, Robert Acosta, who is our communications coordinator, and we also have on the line Dina Rodriguez. Dina, if you can just wave. She also has been handling some of your questions as well, taking the RSVP. So thank you very much for those two. We could not do the work without Robert and Dina assisting and doing all they do to make sure that our consortium provides you with the best information and a solid presentation come January. So again, thank you. We're excited to have many of our 30 Bellwether finalists on this webinar. I want to let you know this is being recorded. So if you have colleagues that were not able to make it today, we will have this session available at the bellwethercollegeconsortium.com website. And if you have any troubles reaching it or finding it, please obviously reach out to me or Robert or Dina, and we're very happy to send you the link. What I'd like to do is go through the slides and then at the very end have a Q&A. That being said, if you have a question at the moment, please put it in our chat area and we will get to it at the end, because I know sometimes questions come up as we're going through the presentation and you don't want to lose sight of what your question was. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Next slide, Robert. So you, as a finalist, should have received a letter that said congratulations, and we are definitely excited to be hosting the 2021 Bellwether Finalist Award competition. We have it at the Community College Futures Assembly. So know that when you hear the term Futures Assembly, it is basically the place, the location, the event for the Bellwether Award competition. This year we had a very good selection from all across the nation. We had 17 states represented, and these are your winners. In the area of instructional programs and services, we have College of the Canyons, Pima Community College, and by the way, if you are a community college that had a dash beside it, that is obviously because we had more than one winning submission or submission that made the finalist category. So Pima indeed did that. And so you will see Pima Community College dash prior learning assessment in the IPS category, Bossier Parish Community College, South Mountain Community College student athletes, Broward College Avatar Simulation, Naugatuck Valley Community College, Oxnard College 5Ps Model, Reading Area Community College, Pima Community College iBest, and Madison Community College. So congratulations. Those are our 10 finalists in the category of instructional programs and services. Moving on from planning, governance, and finance, we have, and I see you, Michelle Cantu Wilson, we will make sure that that N is put in or taken out for San Jacinto College. So we apologize for that. And I see that as well. For PGF, Southwest Tennessee Community College, Northeast Wisconsin Technical College, Onondaga Community College, El Paso Community College, Blinn College District, Collin College, Pensacola State College, Broward College, Rapid, Pima Community College Online Leadership, University of Arkansas Community College at Hope, Texarkana. So congratulations to those PGF finalists. And in the final category of workforce development, we had Houston Community College, Broward College - Broward Up, Pima Community College USAF Paramedic, Rogue Community College, Oxnard College Project Recover, San Jacinto College, Polk State College, South Mountain College, Construction Trades Institute, Pima Community College, HBOG Hopes, and Holyoke Community College. So again, congratulations to all our finalists. This link can be updated, and so we'll make that minor change to San Jacinto. Please use this for your media, your social media announcements. We also sent a press release to all of you all. If you want a copy of that and for whatever reason didn't get that, please reach out to me. We are very proud of everyone on this list. We understand that in 2020, there are many things that are taking your time. So to provide a submission, we know was not a small feat. Moving on. So for many of you who may not have joined this competition in the past, because we do have colleges that return every year with a different submission, I want to just take time to say we are a nationally recognized member-supported consortium. We work to address critical issues in those three categories that each one of you represents. We do this through applicable research, through the promotion and replication of best practices, addressing workforce development, instructional programs and services, and planning, governance, and finance. We have been doing this for the past 26 years, and I will speak to our founder shortly. We support, publicize, and promote our annual national award competition, which celebrates and recognizes you on the basis of the fact you have programs that are replicable, that are scalable, that have data proven outcomes, and that are worthy of replication. And so people come to this event to find out who is doing what can be replicated, and also to represent the best of the best in terms of community colleges. So we are very proud of the role we serve. We fit into that specific focus of what we do, and I think we do it well. To date, the consortium has had over 78 unduplicated awardees, roughly 1,300 unduplicated award finalists. And this year, I think we will definitely have many folks focused on this event because of the fact that many of you, what you turned in or what you submitted was specifically focused on addressing a COVID-19 related issue. And we hear you, and we're very happy that you felt it important to put that submission in. Next slide, Robert. Let me talk a little bit and just briefly introduce the founder. Dr. Dale Campbell is the man on the left, the very distinguished man with the white hair and beard. We call him the man, the myth, the legend. Since I began this position as director last October, I have been in correspondence with Dale probably every other month, if not every month, and lately almost every other week. He is super excited. He's very excited to be returning to our event as a co-MC for our awards ceremony. So you will see and hear from Dale Campbell. He is a retired professor emeritus of higher education administration at the University of Florida, which was the host site for Bellwether College Consortium till about 3 or 4 years ago. I'm proud to say that the Alamo Colleges District has taken on the role of helping support the consortium and supports my role, supports the fact that I have 3 individuals that help me with the work that I do. So I'm very happy that Alamo Colleges took it upon themselves to be the home for Bellwether College Consortium. Next slide. So we are a small team, but we are mighty. And so I like to say that we get the job done. Um, you have all our email addresses here, but let me say, of course, I just spoke as being the director. That's my email. It goes directly to me. Um, Dina Rodriguez Cassidy is the executive assistant to Vice Chancellor Urrutia, who has definitely been very gracious to allow her to also help with the work that we do. And so she will be working on issues related to the uh, the sponsorship of the event and assisting in other areas where as needed. Robert Acosta handles all our graphics, all our data, uh, all our requests for press and all our social media tools that we have. Facebook, we have Twitter, and we have a LinkedIn account. So please utilize those accounts. Feel free to hashtag us, and we will do the same when we can. And then Ida Leas, who is not on the line today, but she is my right hand in terms of the registration process. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to her as well. And so that is our staff. Next, I will speak about the membership benefits. And I will tell you, since I started, these have definitely been expanded upon. And I think that really for the membership cost, this is a great value. This year, we know it's difficult for people to travel. In fact, we are not traveling in our college district, and I suspect many of you aren't or probably wouldn't want to at this particular time just because of the health risks that we have. So we, just long story short, the 2020 Bellwether Awards, the Community College Futures Assembly, and the Policy Summit, which I'll talk a little bit about, were held this year, February 1st through 3rd, I believe. And it was right about the time we were hearing about COVID, and it hadn't really reached, obviously, the critical crisis period that we have now. But we had a 3-year contract with a hotel. And so, long story short, we came off a fabulous, a very well received 3-day event. And everything we learned from that event, we literally had to kind of look at, but then say, how are we going to move this to a virtual platform? As I'm sure many of you all have done. So we have done that in a matter of months, but to provide folks with the ability to come to our events, these virtual events will, instead of typically having 3 registrants for a membership, which is usually part of a Bellwether membership, we are offering 10 registrants fees included in that. So this is a really great opportunity to not only have your presentation team come, but maybe a few students or faculty members or administrators that might not be a part of your presentation team, but want to learn from other colleges that will be competing with or against you. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity to expand the wealth in terms of the number of people that come to these events from your particular college. We will have those registration fees not only be provided for the Futures Assembly admission, but also for the Bellwether College Consortium Policy Summit. And we come on the cusp of the presidential inauguration. If you haven't looked at the dates, we're probably 2 days after that. And so this is a really good time to listen to people who are really in the know in terms of federal policy and some state policy. And then we'll also have some researchers there who have some very good information to share on community college specific research. We will have invitations to our Innovations webinar series. This typically highlights the 3 Bellwether Award winners each year. This year, we were able to also have a session with the U.S. Department of Education speaking to the CARES Act. It's a coup in terms of the fact we were able to have them speak specifically to our members. Um, we have a Bellwether Brief. It's a bi-yearly newsletter where we focus on our particular colleges and the work that we've done to date. We also have very close relationships with AACT, that is the Association of Community College Trustees, and the American Association of Community Colleges. Those folks, I won't name them because we have an anonymous group of judges, but they do participate in the judging process. And so they are very kind in typically inviting us to present our award winners at their annual conferences. And at ACCT, we did have our 3 winners and myself present and share more about the Bellwether Award process and some of the value that comes to our colleges by being a winner. There is free access to the 2021 Policy Summit, like I said again. We are a very unique consortium in that we every year, as of last year, it was an inaugural event, but we have a film that we choose every year, and it is our Bellwether Film Choice, and it is typically focused on a higher education issue. So I'll talk a little bit about that, but that is rolled into the Policy Summit, and the end of that at the end of that particular film, we will also have a policy panel or a panel discussion on the issue that that particular documentary. We usually highlight a documentary, that particular issue that the documentary focuses on. We will have logos for our BCC finalists and award winners as well. Once you register, we will be able to provide those to you. So typically, when you usually win something like this or as finalist, it's nice to put right at the end of your email and just showcase or on your business cards that you are a Bellwether finalist. And that's one thing we're going to forward to all our finalists and the award winners. And then finally, I am very excited to say that we will have digital badges for the presenters competing for the Bellwether Award. So more to come on that. Next slide. Let me move on to the actual competition. So the judges, we have an anonymous team of typically 3 trained judges and a seasoned honorary coordinator of judges who oversees the final judging process. We just obviously closed on the first round of judging, and those particular judges have a lead judge. That lead judge always comes to our final round judging process. So is usually typically on-site judging at the Community College Futures Assembly. Those 3 lead judges have confirmed that they will be at the virtual competition as well. At the round 2 portion of the competition, again at the Community College Futures Assembly, we will have roughly 12 to 15 judges, and those judges will be assigned a particular college for each hour that we have presentations. They are judging a specific category. And so just as an example, we will have 3 to 4 judges for the instructional programs and services. And they will gather at the end of Monday after all the judging process has been complete, or actually after all the presentations have been completed, and make their decisions. And I will say last year, it was a pretty tough decision in one category where they went past midnight. And I was yawning at the time, I won't lie, but they came to a decision. They take this process very seriously, and that's a great thing because they care and they really want to make some good choices. But know that when you get to the Bellwether Award round 2, there are usually very, very strong programs there, and that's why people always love to come back. They love to present, but they also love to learn from the colleges that are their peers. Finally, I'm sorry, if we can go right back. The award assembly will be Tuesday, mid-morning, at least Central Time, where we will honor the 30 Bellwether finalists and, of course, announce the Bellwether Award winners. Next slide. Okay, so this is the meat of what you came to hear, the instructions. Because we are working on with a virtual platform, a lot of the information that we require of you must be, as you know, input. And it is a lot of information, and we want to get it right. So that means we've got to back up our deadlines so that come January 25th and 26th, everything is set. You're comfortable, we're ready to go. It's like a well oiled machine. We're all ready to put our best foot forward. So, the way we are working out the gathering of information is through Survey Monkey. We will provide you, and I believe it's already in the PDF we provided. Forgive me if that's not correct, but we will provide you with a link, which is found on the very bottom there, uh, that allows you to put write in and type in your program title and description, your speaker's name, so that is all the presenters that you will have in your recorded presentation, their titles, and their email addresses. It is critical. It is critical that that email address be used when they're linking into the presentation, because that is what we will provide Open Water, which is our platform, our virtual platform. They will know Rose Martinez at gmail.com is the address, as an example, I will use to log in, hypothetically saying. If I come in as rmartinez17 at alamo.edu, it will not recognize me. So it's critical that you and your team have the correct email addresses provided to us and utilize that email address when you're linking into your presentation. Not a problem as long as that email address is correct. We will have technical staff available for you for all the sessions. So know that if there's any issue, we can certainly change those email addresses if we have to. But that is not what we want to do, of course, and we don't want to have anyone in a situation where they feel stressed. So know that. The recorded presentation. So as was stated in the PDF you received, we would like the sessions that are recorded to be 45 to 50 minutes. That is so we can reserve time for Q&A. Our judges typically have at least one question. And so we just want to make sure that you allow at least 10 minutes, but suggested 15 minutes reserved for that Q&A, which means the link that you provide us will be up to 50 minutes long. Will hypothetically end with a question slide or a thank you slide. So that cues our judges to begin to ask questions. That's when the presentation goes quote unquote live. Okay, you're on, the rest of your team is on to address any question that audience members may have. There is also a required 1-minute program video link. That is also something that will be, that you can provide through this information survey. And so if you do not have a link, this is the time to begin to prepare one. If you have some challenges, COVID related to creating that link, reach out to me and let me know. This is not inked in stone, inked on paper. We realize we have to give grace this year. Some folks may not be able to come together. They're working remotely. There may be furloughs, and those are things that we understand. So know that we would like that. We have used that in the past to score the entire package of what you provide to our judges, but we realize that this year might be a little different. Okay, let me say this again. So the information survey, all of the information that I have talked about will be included in that survey for you to provide to us. We would like you to use the exact program title that you gave us when you submitted your entry for this award competition. The exact 50, I think it was a 50-word description that you provided when you first submitted your entry. Those two things should match. That way we are exactly clear on the program title and the description as we have them. If you need them back from us, and I've already gotten one request, let us know. But hopefully you do have that information. And that's just so it's apples to apples. So if you have a college that has more than one entry, we don't want to make the mistake in putting the wrong description for the wrong category. So, okay, that is it. That is the link. We would like all this information no later than December 14th so that we can upload it into the gallery and we can test it out. And if there's any issues, we have a couple of days before the winter break to contact you. Okay. So what does this survey look like? This is just an example of the first page. It talks about why we need the information. It shares that. And I do want to say that there's one other piece that I know many of you are aware of if you've competed before. That is a binder. And every year the binder is something that people want to know more about. So we do have an example on the next slide, but just if you know, I'm sorry, if we can go back. The link to the binder is not due till Friday, January 8th. So we give you a larger amount of time, increased time to gather what you would like to put in that binder. And that information should dovetail with the criteria that is used to judge your presentation. And that criteria should be in line with what we looked at for the first round of judging. So it's basically putting on paper your rationale for a specific program, outcomes of that specific program, what you learned, and what you would share with others that wanted to duplicate that program. All the criteria that you have in front of you before, no different. Just putting that on in writing and putting that into one link that we can have our judges review. Let's see. So we know the deadline for the survey is prior to that, December 14th. That is the first big deadline. And then the deadline for the digital binder is January 12th. So I'm sorry, I made the mistake of saying that the digital binder was due the January 8th. So nix that. The binder is due January 12th. Registration is due by Friday, January 8th. Okay. And so you have registration separate from the bellwether information survey. So one is registering, the other piece is making sure we have all the information. So when you go into the gallery, when you go into the virtual conference, so to speak, we have all the information we need to share with our attendees. And then finally, the binder, January 12th. Okay. Here's the guidance for creating the binder. Because we have 3 different categories, what you determine is important might be a little different because one might be a program, another might be a governing model, and so we give you some leeway there. But know that the general idea for the binder is, think about this: if you're going to have to judge 10 binders on your laptop, you want it to be visually appealing and easy to follow. You want it to include a table of contents. Please include a table of contents. That is definitely helpful to our judges. You would like to put your most compelling, your data supported rationale, include that. Concise language and easy to read texts and graphics are always helpful. You know, if you read 20, 30 pages, it's nice to have a graph that basically shares what you would have said in about a paragraph or two. Graphics explaining the process, important data, and outcomes are encouraged. And I already talked about a sample. Oh, and so let me provide you with a sample table of contents. We have one for you. I know this is small, so I do apologize, but I think once you get it on your own computer and you link to this particular presentation, you can zoom in and look at the sections. This is an example of a binder that was provided last year. Pima Community College's Transform Developmental Education Transform an Institution was one of our 3 Bellwether award winners. What we really liked about this and many of the binders, not just this one, is that it had tabs. So if you look to the left, or these bookmarks, you're able to provide those through a PDF. And so that helps the judge if they stop on a certain section and then they need to come back to it, they can know where they left off. And so it's just a nice way of organizing your binder so it is very easy to follow and very easy to skip to a section once our judges have completed a review of any previous sections. If you need help creating bookmarks, Dina Rodriguez Cassidy, who's on this line, has said that she can help as well. So reach out to her if you have any questions about doing that. But that's an example that we have for you. Let's see, we've done the more guidance. I think we already did this one, Robert. Okay. Oh, I think we need to go back one. Okay, never mind, sorry. Okay, this is live. Presentation, overview, and deadlines. Okay, so again, for those of you who are new to Bellwether, we have a Monday that is insane for our judges. We have 5 presentations occur during 6 sessions to account for the 30 Bellwether finalists presentations, correct? Okay, so we have 30 sessions in one day over the course of about 6 hours with 15-minute breaks in between and a healthy break for lunch. And, you know, in person, we'd be walking around, networking, having some good conversations and laughing. And in this session, you know, we're going to have to do things a little differently, but I will tell you, we have some fun and entertaining things lined up. So know that, yes, Monday is a long day, but it's also a day to celebrate each and every one of you that have made it this far. And I encourage you to, once you're done with your presentation, to go into another one for the hours that you're not presenting and see who your competition is, or look and learn from others that have very interesting models or programs that you would like to emulate or at least learn more about. It's really always a good time to do some professional development. Again, the required format is 15-minute presentation at a max, 45 to 50 minutes, and leaving 10 minutes for Q&A. Again, that Q&A will be a live portion of your presentation. So you will be on with your presenters on the screen, just as you see me addressing questions that will be coming through, I believe via chat. I will confirm that, but yes, it will be via chat. Handouts, every year we have folks that do just really feel like handouts are important for their audience. We will have a link through, if not our survey, we will provide a link afterward if you feel like you want to include handouts for your presentation, digital handouts, of course. So that will be an option. It is not mandatory, but if you would like to provide us with digital handouts, we will make them available through the platform for your audience members. And I think I've already gone through the date, so I will press on. Bellwether scoring criteria. So again, this is this is the same criteria that you had to get past round one. So obviously you did a great job for the first round. Again, the second round, digging a little deeper into the critical issue, that is sharing data and research that demonstrates why this is a critical issue. Why did you create this program? Why did you feel like this governing model or finance model was important? The second area of scoring would be the ability to address the issue. So the rationale to addressing the issue, the strength of the program, policy, the service in addressing the issue in a compelling way. Because this is now a presentation, you're not necessarily writing down um, your understanding of development. So this is the exemplary presentation will be you providing details, understanding the development, the targeted audience, the benefactors, and necessary resources for successful implementation. That will also include your presentation. So how well do you relay this information in front of an audience? Documented outcomes, again, same criteria as round one. What were your strong indicators of effectiveness, and what evidence do you have of scaled success or replication elsewhere? And then finally, lessons learned. So providing some thoughtful, insightful, important lessons for maybe others that might want to take this on themselves or take on a piece of what you did at your particular college. And then also tips for improvement. Every time we go through this, it's always important to understand where the pitfalls were, where the challenges were, and how you overcame those. Okay, next slide. Now, the Policy Summit is, I would say, um, an something that is not specific to your competition, but it is something that Bellwether feels is important to host most every year. And knowing that 2 days before we begin or commence with our policy summit, we will know who our new president is, if not by the end of the day, but definitely we will have that person have been inaugurated. And so it's a really special, important, exciting time. And we have some wonderful speakers that will be with us to help us understand and help us um, illuminate how federal policy, how federal practice, how state policy may be pivoting, should I say, with the commencement of this new presidential, this person in office. And so, and with this new Congress. And so we will have speakers like Chauncey Lennon, Vice President at Lumina Foundation, Lexi Barrett, who is Vice President at the Jobs for the Future at JFF, and Connor DeVries, who is our Canadian filmmaker, who will be introducing the Right to Learn, the BCC film choice that we have for this year. We have an outstanding group of speakers. I have others that I have not shared with you that will be on hand. And this is where you learn about the importance of policy that may be coming up, that may be trending, what our thought leaders see as important, and really be a part of some good discussions. And so we invite everyone to be a part of the Policy Summit. It's always something that people come back and say, wow, I really wish we would have had more of, of of my folks here to hear this, because everybody focuses on the Community College Futures Assembly. So really this summit is becoming its own bright light in terms of the signature events that we produce. And so I hope that you will join us. Again, it's part of your registration fee already. It is the Friday before the commencement of the Community Colleges Futures Assembly, which is on Monday, January 25th. So Fridays are always good just to, I think, for professional development. So please come in, take a listen. We have, again, some wonderful speakers. We'll end with the film series or the film, The Right to Learn, and wrap it up with a wonderful panel presentation. So I've failed to mention that our theme this year is "And Still We Advance, Seizing the Moment and Leading with Courage," because that is what we feel like every one of you all is doing. So you are leaders, you have seized the moment, and we are still advancing. We see that in many of the write-ups in community colleges, the positive write-ups on how well we have really pivoted from in-person to online. And I know that it gives me great hope that um, we will have some advancements in how we teach, in whom we teach, and the outcomes will be, I think, very positive when we look at this in years past, just to see how fast we did what we did, and what we learned from that. And so I'm very proud to be a part of this consortium at this moment in time. And so thank you very much for the work that you do. It is recognized, and certainly something that we choose to recognize not only at the Futures Assembly but at the Policy Summit, which is why we have this caliber of people coming in to speak not to you but with you. Next slide. The Right to Learn, like I said, is our film choice. Uh, I love the laurels we have here. Usually you'll have like a South by Southwest film choice, and we decided to take it upon ourselves to create our own logo, and I love it. So kudos to Robert Acosta who created that. We will have Canadian filmmaker Connor DeVries speaking and introducing The Right to Learn. The Right to Learn follows 3 students who are struggling to complete college. And although this film is based in Canada, I will tell you that those challenges cross our borders. So this is a very good opportunity to not only have a national but a binational conversation on the challenges of college affordability in America, in Canada, and what can we do to help our students who are struggling to make ends meet while trying to earn a degree or a certificate. So please join us. You see the date and the time there, 2:15 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. And finally, this is where we celebrate every single one of you. Our Community College Futures Assembly ends with the Bellwether Awards ceremony. Last year, we had the U.S. Department of Education Secretary. This year, we have Jamie Marasotis, President and CEO of Lumina Foundation. As many of you may know, he is also an author. He's written several books, 2 to be exact, and Human Work, and I believe it's called The Art of, In the Era of Smart Machines is his latest book. And each one of our finalists, that means each one of you colleges, each one of the colleges will receive a copy of his book. And so know that that will be coming in the mail with the award. And we are just super excited to hear him speak. He is just, I think, one of the most important thought leaders in higher education. And he said yes right away when he heard that we would like to invite him to this event. So Lumina, very important foundation for the work that we do. And who knows, may have some good announcements to make about community colleges and grants coming through Lumina. So we will end it with myself and Dale Campbell, my co-MC, announcing who the 3 winners are. And hopefully people on this line are, if not up on the stage, up in front of their computer, laughing, smiling, and celebrating, as I know this has been a hard year. And so I can't think of anything better to do in January than to celebrate our community colleges. So please make sure all your college teams are there. We encourage the participation. We will pan. We will try to do what we can to make this fun, happy, exciting, and we look forward to seeing you all there. So just a recap of the important deadlines. December 14th, complete that finalist information survey. Know that, and I did want to mention this, there are sections that we, as in the Bellwether staff, will need to plug in. So if it says leave blank, do exactly that. So that way we can plug in that last bit of information that our virtual platform um, colleagues need. Be ready though when you do access the survey, that you have all the information you need, including your link to your presentation, your link to your 1-minute video, your emails for all your presenters. Have all that on hand, because as you may know, you cannot save the information you put into the survey. So it is in your best interest to have all the information there, all of it complete. But know that we will come back if we have any questions to make sure that we get it right. January 8th, complete the registration and membership for our signature events. You are now a invited BCC member. Not any college can come into the consortium. It's really those that make this finalist round to become finalists. And so feel pride in that. Those members of everyone who has been a member of the consortium has done exactly what you've done and been in your spot. So know that that membership includes registration for 10 individuals. If you would like more people to come, and every year we do have colleges that have many more, then there will be a separate link that we can send you for members that go beyond 10. Okay, but with that membership, you get registration for 10 individuals. And then finally, January 12th is our deadline for the binder, for the digital binder. And we have, again, an example of the table of contents provided in this presentation. Please send those to Aracosa 18, that's Robert's email, at alamo.edu. And that is it. So let me open it up for questions. I know we have some on the chat, so let me start from the top and go down. Congratulations. I love it. Thank you, everyone, for being so congratulatory to everyone. Rhonda, can you please explain the 1-minute video? What is it you're looking for? Okay. Typically, for some of our programs, it's kind of like a promo. It tells, let's say you have a sponsor, or you're working with a business, or a business and industry, and you've created a 1-minute kind of look into terms of what this program is all about. Maybe it's an interview of a student that's been engaged in the program. Maybe it brings in 3 of your staff members who've worked on that particular project, and they talk about the value of it, or they talk about the outcomes. But it's usually an explainer of what it is you're presenting. It's not the presentation. It is basically like a little promo, so to speak, of your program, of your model, of what it is you did. It's kind of like an elevator speech, but in a video format, right? Students, by the way, it's always good to have students. It's always good to have staff members. So it's not the same people that we've been hearing from, but people that actually are the ones that make this work, right? You know who those staff members are. You know who will sing the praises of your program and model and know it inside and out. And so that's what we'd like to have. If you want an example, let us know, and we will see if we can find 1 or 2 that might help you. Let me move on to the next one. So thank you, Rhonda, for that question. So Nora Powell, if we are competing in more than 1 category, is it just 1 submission? No, ma'am. So you have 1 submission. You're submitting for each program or model that was deemed a finalist. So if it is Bellwether College, Community College, and we have a program with Google, then that's going to be 1 submission, because you're going to have certain presenters that are going to speak to that, maybe a Google exec, that you would not have if you had a Bellwether College Consortium student support program. that would be maybe more of advisors and people like that. So they're very separate. They are not the same. Each survey that you complete is specific to the program or model that you are going to be presenting on. So please, yeah, don't mix categories, don't mix programs. I hope that answered your question. From Casey, will this PowerPoint be available? Yes, sir. And it can be emailed. We will email the link as well. So just give us some time. On Monday, we will have that ready to go. Lisa Parks, welcome. This presentation in the survey, can you please give examples of well-received platforms of the past? Let me see if I can answer that. Oh, the presentation in the survey. I'm not sure if I understand that. Can we unmute Lisa? Lisa, if you're on.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I was just wondering about examples of presentation platforms like PowerPoint, or if there's video embedded in that and things like that that were easy and well received from the past.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're kind of getting into the weeds. Well, you know, it's really up to you. I have seen PowerPoint with embedded video links. I have seen folks stop and then have a conversation or bring in, you know, one of the presenters and then go back into a slide. So it's however you feel like you can best present the information in a compelling and engaging way, and obviously touch upon each criteria within the time limit. So I think if you have video and you want to put it in and it can be embedded in the link that you provide, then we're fine. So just make sure that link is accessible, it's not broken, and we're ready to go, because that is basically your presentation. When you press start, that is what the judges will see. Okay? All right. Okay, Robert has the survey link there for you. Monica, approximately how many applications were submitted for each category prior? Oh boy, I don't have the specific numbers with me, but here's what I can tell you from history, and history repeats itself. IPS, instructional programs and services, is always our largest category because everyone has a program. The workforce development is usually second in terms of the number of submissions, and then planning, governance, and finance, PGF, is typically 30. It's it's not 30. It's usually third. It's not as, you know, engaging, as, you know, sexy as people want to, you know, when they see those programs, they always want to focus on programs. But I will tell you that some of the most amazing models have come from PGF in terms of working with the cloud and doing these really engaging and innovative practices that usually involve utilizing IT or something very, very different. Because, you know, student support programs, they're very good, but there's usually, you know, there's usually certain elements that you will see in them. But with PGF, it's kind of the sky's the limit, and usually that's basically, you know, how well are we financing what we do? What are we doing differently? How are we being more economically efficient? And those questions, those are harder to do. Those are usually very systemic in nature across maybe multiple college district, and so those are heavy lifts. But that's what I will say there. Okay, Dr. Martinez, some of us already submitted a 1-minute video. Yes, how different? No difference. If you submitted the 1-minute video already, just go ahead and plug it into this particular survey. So kudos to you. You check that off, check that box off. I will say this, it doesn't necessarily have to be 1 minute. I know some of you all have maybe provided presentations to your local television entities, we've seen that as well. You can utilize that as well. We just don't want like a 20-minute video or a 15-minute video. We'd like to keep it short. Know that our judges, they're going to be kind of trying to get through this very quickly, but also they want to give you the time they need to make a good decision. So utilize the same video, unless, let me preface this, unless you feel like it doesn't hit some of those things that I spoke about. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. For the recorded presentation itself, will we all be using Zoom, or are we able to record in any? You can record in any format. We just need the link. And Robert, if you have any clarifying, or Dina, any clarifying comments there, please jump on the line. But we were told by our platform it doesn't have to be Zoom, but that's what most people use. So that's the only reason why we said Zoom. Okay, I guess I answered that question to the liking of my staff. Okay, hello all, this is Dr. Blake. Hello, Dr. Blake. If an institution has several submissions in each category, yes, I've answered this question. So yes, we do have to have, okay, no, let me make sure I understand this. There is one membership per college. So Pima Community College, Broward College, South Mountain Community College. If you have more than one submission, you only have one membership per college. Okay, so membership one, when you're completing the surveys, you have multiple, because you have multiple submissions. Okay, if you have two submissions, if you have one submission entered into categories, you only provide the submission for the category that you were a finalist in. So your letter would tell you which category you were a finalist in for that submission. There were a couple of submissions that were in two different categories. Okay, let's see. There were no finalists that were in two categories. You might have been competing in two categories, but you are only finalist in one category, Nora. And we can talk offline. Okay, great. All right. You all have been wonderful. I've enjoyed the questions. All right, thumbs up. Are we good? Do we have enough information? Okay. Well, thank you all very much. This has been wonderful. We're not going anywhere. So if you have questions that you couldn't think of right now, or that you want to wait on and speak, or email me privately, by all means do so. I'm here to serve you. I am the director for the consortium, which is not made up of this, logo somewhere. This is really you all. And so be proud of that. Share your good fortune. You're all our finalists. I just wanted to say it was so pleasing on Monday to see emails coming back like, this is the best news of the year come through, because I know we've had some challenging times. And I just want to say, hang in there. We are all there working together, and this is going to be great. This is going to be a good January come 2021. So we're very pleased to have you. We're prideful of all the work you do. And again, let us know if you have any questions. Have a great Friday. And yes, this presentation will be up Monday. Thank you all. Take care.